Soulbind.
Yeah, but Soulbind is really good versus Pango, which we have both forgotten, and we mentioned it before.
So there's no sort of crazy synergies.
No crazy synergy on your own team, but you're gonna be really strong versus Pango. So there's that.
Okay.
Sure. So overall,
Pango's last pick, they need what we're imagining that safe lane. They're going to just go with the Lifestealer again.
we know, right?
I don't like that as much against the Void, right? Because the Void, he shouldn't die to this Lifestealer.
Yeah, he chronos you, and that's all she said.
I mean, obviously, as long as you get the rage off, you probably won't die in the chrono until the sort of later stages of the game, because everything else is sort of magical, and Void's not going to be hitting hard early on. But late game, it's going to be a very nice place for Na'Vi and a bit of a scary place. You can only imagine with the Pango. The Pango don't want to go late with this draft against a Void and OD. If you're running sort of Pango, Viper, and Lifestealer, you're going to want to close this one off early. And the Pango struggled with that in game 2. They weren't able to shut it down.
But they do have a Pango.
They have got their signature.
So it's like
the faces Void and Grimstroke I really like.
So it's Void and OD versus Viper, and who's their safe laner? It's Nyx.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to go with Na'Vi. I really think they've got Dark Zero Spirit. I think they've got the better cores. They've got more opportunities to win this game because they're going to scale way better. I'm just not a fan of sort of this Lifestealer Viper and Pango. They have to really go off, and I think it's
I don't know. They're called Pango for a reason, I suppose. But honestly, I'll go with Na'Vi as well. I'm going with Na'Vi.
Void. OD. I think that's stronger.
Yeah, it looks stronger, definitely.
It does.
They don't have a lot of damage in that chrono, but you have Darkseer and Earth Spirit in the laning stage. It looks good.
I mean, if they chrono the
this Pango is basically a mystery to me as well. I'm not certain. Yeah. Pango is kind of hit or miss. He got buffed a bit, but Na'Vi.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's very close though, because I feel like Pango is a better team. But I like Navi's draft better.
I mean, I don't know. I think last game Navi did just they had an idea.
Yeah, they were better. But I think Pango normally is more stable.
But I would agree with Sheaves as well. I think it's mostly about the draft. I think Faceless Void draft is always easy to execute, and even if I do believe that Pango is maybe a little bit stronger right now as a team, I think that Void drafts are always easy to execute. Late game, nothing beats Chrono. It's the ultimate spell.
I also think that
no swaps,
of Na'Vi, the 2 star players are magical and crystallize.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. So that is the Void and the OD. So if it's gonna depend on the cores, which I think it will, it's good. Well, deciding match. Just a reminder though, nobody's going to get sent home even if you lose here, but it does mean that you don't have any second chances left because you'll be in the lower bracket of the playoffs.
That's on this Tiny is going to be very interesting to watch as well. I wonder, I guess he starts with the 3 as well. Gets it and helps his boy on the offlane harass out.
And the Ghost Stick Pango, let's see what that man can do. It's in the name.
I mean, Ghost Stick, like that guy is honestly a rising star. He's already popular, obviously, but what was that? Stone. Right?
Well,
interesting stone placement there.
Just a BM stone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, have this. Ruined the feng shui of your jungle now.
Darkseer trying to wrap around and steal that bounty, but they're positioning themselves well enough.
Oh yeah, let's see what sort of lanes we're going to get out, and let's see if we see the mid lane go the same way as it did the last time we saw this matchup earlier in the series. Pretty much even trade between the 2 and farm.
I think Viper should maybe do a bit better this time around.
I guess depends if we see any sort of rotations on him.
It's Sailor, he warms up a little bit, and then he does a bit better, I guess. Viper instantly going for that first deny on the range creep, not really great. Can't really hit the creep if you are in another dimension. It is problematic.
It is.
And if you start with corrosive skin as well, Pango and Zayas here versus the Void Grim. Right. like the problem that I had with Pango always was the hero. It doesn't feel like he accomplishes a lot on the laning stage. Like there aren't many heroes that he crushes. But right now, actually, we forgot about one thing. It's the fact that he can silence the void, right? With the new changes.
He can.
Well, not super new changes, but relatively new changes. He can silence the void if he procs. So that can be actually huge. They have another additional way of actually killing that void.
I mean, even the disarm as well, right?
Yeah, even the disarm is good.
Void is going to be pretty obnoxious.
And both can proc.
Yeah, you can get both. Yeah. Silence and disarm, and death against void and OD. That's going to cause issues.
Wow, that's deep. That's a deep dive. And this is also a deep dive. Naive.
He's
I mean,
man going for that iron shell as well, but
yeah,
the
so
creep dying
unfortunate
to the
for
tower.
Vincere. And the rage now as well. That's a long. Yeah. Well, he does force him back.
Yeah, he's got to go back to base still.
not bad.
Yeah, but
And his support is very far away.
his support is very far away because Red Spirit was creep skipping. Right? So it's kind of a weird thing that was happening on the bottom lane, definitely.
They're favoring Navi, I'd say, though.
So far, definitely, yeah. Because Lifestealer just lost all of his regen, forced to go back, has to port to the lane. That's great. This mid lane so far, they're kind of even showed actually doing better again.
Yeah, you can play a little confident with Spirit by his side for a little bit.
That top lane Pango actually on top of the network charts. Not really what I expected. Now they disarm the void, but they go for the Soneko.
Why wouldn't they go for the void?
He's a harder kill. He's got the time wall. With Soneko, they've got more of a chance, but Soneko sees an opportunity to TP out and he'll get away.
Yeah, they can't get him either.
But yeah, really doing a lot to try and secure that Pango lane.
Yeah. And the Grimstroke actually didn't teleport to base. He just teleported to the tower, so he's still there to help out if needed.
He has no mana.
No mana, sure.
Which isn't really great.
Well, Shrine in 1.5 minutes.
Bottom lane Naive being the one here. I mean, it's the Earth Spirit plus Darkseer combination. It's really strong. Are they level 3, the two of them?
No, 2 and 3.
Is Blizzy level?
Blizzy's level 3.
Alright, so they have the level 2 iron show. It's really good. Mid lane actually, the OD is pulling ahead.
He's getting a lot of denies.
Yeah, a lot of denies.
15-12 against 8-4. Yeah, you're right. He is.
I mean, OD is good currently in the meta, but I would argue not that good.
I mean, and as you said, we saw this matchup literally between these two same players earlier, and Silo was able to keep even.
Yep.
And
I expected him maybe to do even better now, to take the lead on the Viper, but instead, it's actually doing worse.
Oh, and that Magical's going to get a DD as well. Even nicer to keep that CS advantage. It's top lane Na'Vi. Making an attempt here onto Slayer. Ghostic's trying to jump in and bring down Soneko with him, but it's not going to happen as Na'Vi get the kill and Ghostic can't do enough in return. Get a triple bash there as well by Crystallize.
I think at some point...
Another bash would do it, but doesn't get it.
Boots and Gloves of Haste on Void, and I have a feeling this Pango needs to creep skip already. That's...
Yeah. Oh.
And mid lane, Na'Vi.
Now this is a good combo. You imprison him, and then you kick him back. It's easy.
And Na'Vi having a very good start to the lanes, it feels like here. They've got that OD having a good time mid. The Void's getting the farm up top. Bottom lane across Blizzy with this creep cutting, and the fact that he knows that the Pango are putting most of their efforts into the top lane. Will Blizzy's he's going to get free farm on the dark side.
And they get 3 bounty rolls. 3 bounty rolls to side of Na'Vi. That's basically only 1 for Pango.
Yep. I'll try some quick maths for you then.
Quick maths, man.
Quick maths for you then.
They won. That's what it is. Well, they still haven't really, like, the biggest upside for Pango, I believe, is this Nikes. He has been pressured quite hard, but Naive is still doing very well. He didn't succumb under the pressure.
No, he might now though. With Trabash.
He has rage.
He still has rage available.
On top lane, the Pango will get that kill on Crystallize this time around.
I guess he got silenced.
Yeah.
I see no other way.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they are looking to get some echo as well.
Yeah, he has no sticks anymore. He's gone.
Alright. The Pango.
Oh, it's the javelin build. All right. I see where this is going. It's the javelin rush. Is he gonna get more than one? That's the question. Or is he gonna go for Maelstrom? Go for more than one. Go for 4 javelins. Let's go.
4 javelins.
Let's go, Pango. You know, because of the procs.
I mean,
Yeah, let's go.
the maths checks out.
It's at least three javelins, and then suddenly you're one-shotting this Grimstroke and the Void. Well, not the Void completely, but close enough.
But if you get that silence, and you know, he's going to die anyway.
Yeah. I mean, 1 is probably enough so that you can burst down the creep wave and then farm it after with your second spell. But it's very interesting that he's going for that damage build instead of the utility build that I'm so used to seeing on Pangolier.
I'm quite like. Do you think that is this going to be another game where Naive goes for the Radiance build? I mean, I feel he's done it twice. He's probably going to do it again. And Naive being chased around here by the camp, but again will be able to play himself out of that dangerous place with the Infest. Got level 5 on Crystallize, still getting pressured away from the creep wave though, with this heavy presence of the Pango on that top lane.
Radiant's middle tower.
Feels like on bottom lane they're focusing more on trying to harass the lifestealer than getting farms themselves. That be them focusing more on money rather than on trying to shut down lifestealers, because it looks like lifestealers doing fine anyway.
We'll see. As this middle lane, still the net worth difference, as you can see,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a 1k
huge,
lead
actually.
for Magic.
1k lead. Yeah, that shouldn't be happening.
No. He's not having as good of a game as he did earlier on the Viper. So, as we saw in the same matchup, same heroes, he did okay. This time around, he's struggling.
There's a haste and Tiny. He won't be able to find a whole lot with it. Void's getting pretty low though. Just gets out. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by how well Ghostic is doing on this Pango. It's a hero that's just used to seeing lose the lane, and then just, yeah, he sometimes does well with his rolls. Like he gets.
He's had a lot of help up here.
Yeah, that's true.
His team name is the Pango.
Yeah, he's had a lot of help, but at the same time, they didn't really lose a lot because of that. Yeah, mid lane isn't the greatest.
Yeah, and Naive's still
Nyx,
second in net
yeah,
worth.
Nyx is still doing fairly well.
And he was left alone. Yeah, I mean, you're right, yeah. It's just the mid lane that's not going as maybe as well as the Pango would hope. As what? Do you see that from the Viper? He's queuing up the Midas.
The Midas wipe.
Midas Viper.
Right? When the lane goes poorly, just buy Midas.
I guess, yeah.
So Neko with the jukes.
Almost. Was good enough. And the creep to stop
Yeah, of
it.
course.
Ward's coming in.
Oh.
They turn this. Can they go on Pango? He's time down.
He's very tanky though.
He's
Nice
there for sure. I mean, they've got
There's no
to if they
cooldowns.
need
That's the
to.
question. That's the problem.
Oh, he's very speedy. The rocket ship. Okay.
Okay. Walk around.
I guess the job done. Right? not the flashiest, not the
No, but
sexiest
that
trials,
felt a little bit sad.
Yeah, he's laughing.
He's happy with that.
Yeah,
Cannot
he
laughter.
is.
Like that's one more
Chrono
laughter. That
Chrono
chrono was.
down.
Yeah. He's happy about that. At least he forced them to use the chrono. If they just got the kill without using that chrono, then it's not that great. But like this, he's happy about it. They could have used that chrono to kill someone else, perhaps the Nyx. They don't truly have the damage though, do
No.
they? In between,
No, if he gets rage off, he's not dying
like
at all.
this Navi's lineup, they're actually lacking damage in the mid game. So after the laning stage is over, they don't truly have a hero that just goes about and kills someone.
And
do you?
they've got no damage from Magic Community.
No, even with Chronosphere, like what, you have Iron Shells and that's it. Like yeah, you have Earth Spirit, but
If you're in the Chronosphere, I feel like that's the time where OD is going to hit you hardest.
yeah, but
That's their damage in the Chrono.
is he going Midas though on the OD? That's the question as well. Viper queued up.
Yeah, he has.
he has Midas already, so I mean he's gonna hit hard, but not that hard after the
Not
main
hard,
stage.
yeah.
So
Jeez.
But still hit Slayer, but Ghost Stick. They've got that roll going, and Slayer, he's charmed with the TPA. That's not going to work.
I mean, if maybe Chu wasn't Iron Shell, he would manage to port out, but he had an Iron Shell on him and the ulti, and then you just can't. That's way too much damage. Overall though, OD losing to creeps in the jungle.
Just got to be careful. Magic.
These creeps are dangerous. They're learning.
But he's going to be very far in this game, Magical.
They need.
This OD game.
It's their only way. Like they need a tanky OD. They need a farmed OD, not necessarily tanky one. They need an OD that's going to be able to dish out that damage in the Chronosphere. And then, if the Nyx is raged up, you're not going to really It's not going to really matter how farmed you are. As an OD, you're not going to dish out damage.
And we'll see. I mean, so at the moment, Crystallize has got queued up the Diffusal Blade, and I do like that this game because you're against these two heroes, right? This Lifestealer and the Pango. They haven't got great mana pools, so if you can get any sort of disable from your teammates, hit them a few times, start draining that mana, it makes them very hard to have the opportunity to play out.
I'm happy he's doing that. Definitely, that Diffusal.
It's going to be really good.
No. Makes sense. You see, what else is he going for? Is that
he's got Diffusal? He's got Diffusal into BKB queued up at the moment.
So no Mask of Madness, yeah, of course. He's gonna get the Mask first, then Diffusal, then the BKB. So just gonna finish that. He already has a Morbid Mask in his inventory. He strolls out. All right. Hi, Chu. He gets rid of that Clarity. Yeah. So I like the Void build. He's building into damage. Like if he built something like a Battle Fury, I would just say, wake me up in 5 minutes because this game, nothing's gonna happen.
Oh,
nice path miss. So
but he's going to be able to save himself out. Goes for a quick TP.
Centaur
hit the stun.
Yeah.
He hit the stuns, but he just dies in the end.
That's naive. We'll be sticking to the same build he's done every game.
Every single one.
He loves it. They won one game.
50% win rate so far.
Yeah.
That's true. See which way the scale's going to tip this time.
I mean, it's good in this game as well because of the chrono. He's going to be missing a bit at least, right?
Yeah, that's true. And as we've seen, in every game, he gets it at a good time, Knight.
I mean, he always has a good lane with the snipes, it seems. Like they haven't been able to pressure him, even with Darkseer plus Earth Spirit combination, so... Definitely feeling comfortable on that hero. But Naive overall, for me, he's Pango's star player. He plays really well. Ghost Stick is definitely good, but Naive is up there too. Thanks, Naive.
The game is still very even though. I mean, even though right now the Pango is doing a little bit better, it doesn't feel like Navi really actively pursued any advantages.
Navi is completely relaxed and chilled out. They're happy with just farming.
Yeah, they've got the Zodi at the
exactly.
top.
Earth Spirit every now and then tries to get the pick off.
Sure. But Shivash, he does. Oh, he got the rage off.
He got the rage off, but he is pretty deep on his
jumps
own.
into a creep, but there's 3 people.
They can't kill the creep though. It's a full health. They can't deny it.
But it is the first creep. It is the first creep. So they're sticking. They're getting it.
He's controlling it. Trying to run out.
Bring it at him. He's got backup now though, and he rages again. He's fine. That is so much time wasted.
I mean,
actually.
as we say,
did they use the net from the troll and snare? Like,
I mean, they must have done, right?
They had a troll there, but it was a bit deep into the trees. They must have, and then he raged out, I suppose. I didn't see the troll toss the net.
Didn't see it either.
Oh,
there's no chrono.
do you get the self line onto the two of them?
Void's in problem.
Oh, he's gone in very deep. He doesn't get the time walk out to the side.
Darkseer?
Ooh.
Is anyone gonna die?
I don't think so. Zayas can't quite find Blizzy.
Maybe he can toss something at him? No.
No, toss was still in cooldown.
Yeah, a few more seconds on that toss. Plus the nighttime, no vision.
Yeah.
Runs out. Pango is the winner of all of that.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Na'Vi rotating with
I meant Pango the hero, but also...
Oh, the hero, yeah.
But definitely Pango the team as well. The chrono was used. They didn't really...
Now they can push without any sort of worry of the Void turning up. Without the chrono at this stage, he's not really any other sort of force that...
All these going for BKB actually already next. I mean, alright. I can't say that... I don't know, BKB is always right. You can't say that BKB is wrong. Whenever you buy it, I mean, it's not...
I mean, they won last game when he got the BKB online, you know. And
it's not always the game-winning item, but it's an item that allows you, that enables you, if you can't position yourself well, it enables you to just like hit people. It doesn't matter, you can stand wherever. But in this game, when you have a Void who can completely disrupt the fight and go in front and use that chrono, maybe you could have been a bit more greedy with your item build, but BKB is fine.
Yeah, I know. Ghost Stick, he's hit that happy point. When you get level 10 on Pango, always feels good. Getting that +3 mana region.
It's a relief.
It's so
this hero just struggles with mana.
Because you just have like no mana, but now, oh, he's ready to push those waves, clear those camps. He's got mana for days.
Talking about +3 mana, like I mean, it is +3 mana. It is big.
3 mana.
It is big for him.
It's nice.
Yeah. I love it.
Let's go Chrono back up.
Yep. OD is taking the top on the top lead on the net worth. He's doing okay, but I don't know. They're losing territory. They're losing ground.
They definitely
I feel like they're still very relaxed, other than that movement just now to try and kill off the life stealer, which didn't work out. I feel restless for them.
I mean, I don't too much. I don't think they have the damage to do anything right now. Yeah, I mean, they could try, but you saw what happened when they tried to...
Oh no, I agree that they can't do much, but it worries me.
Yeah, it worries you. I mean, late game, they have a chrono, so that's something.
But they have to make it to late game at this point.
Well, trying to get in here, but Magical's got his BKB. He's standing up for the fight, and he's ready to punch back. Slayer's gone. Crystallize does still have a chrono available. Two on the side of it all, and that's going to help out big time, allowing Navi to close and then continue to fight for more. Magical drops the Sanity's eclipse. Self Astral will keep him alive for now, and so far, he's probably going to get taken down, though.
Yeah.
Surrounded, they'll get the 2-for-2 trade.
Void didn't do anything in that fight. He Chrono 2 decided to hit the Viper, realized, wait a second, this is not working out. And then he left. And then he just left the rest to just do nothing.
The only thing that Chrono did was it prevented Pango from going inside the fight.
But then he felt obligated to go for damage in the Chrono, which, you know, I get it. But if he would have just helped out his team, killing off...
continue this.
He's chasing.
Oh yeah, why not? He's fine. Maybe just try and help him out.
Time dilation is going to prevent him from doing anything more. But yeah, I agree with you. That chrono is still useless, and they should be dodging these fights.
Yeah.
As OD, I think it's imperative that you do not die. Like, every single time this fight happens, you should be as careful as possible. Save that astral for yourself. Try to be on the outskirts of the fight. Once the chrono is gone, you should be gone as well. Just get out. Just the same Void did. But it's a problem because he went for BKB after Midas, so there's no mobility on him. He can't really move about the fight as easily as a Void, let's say.
All the more reason for the team to fight around him rather than luring him into
definitely. I mean, that chrono should have been closer to him. Optimally, that chrono is closer to OD, and he doesn't have to waste time to get there. He had a lot of hints stolen, though, from the Jakiro, from the Viper, but it didn't work out for the OD. No. In the end, it's 2-for-3 trade, I believe. Which is definitely better for Pango. Well, are they gonna find space to get to the late game? The restlessness that you talked about is kicking in for me as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I infected you with it.
We need some more lines on that board.
We need more farm on the side of Navi. More space, The whole dire jungle is warded up by Pango.
As I said earlier, I really feel like if Pango don't shut this game down like in the next 15 minutes, it's going to be this late game Void OD combo that, as long as they get good chronos off, which Crystallize should be able to, it's going to be very hard for the Pango to fight in the late game.
We saw the exact same thing in the previous game, right? One fight was all it took. Was it 25 minutes in once the BKBs were online for Navi? They could turn it around. And they didn't seem too stressed before that either. They just waited until that one fight that they could take. I guess if they're feeling relaxed, I'll feel relaxed for them as well.
Chill. They're chilled out.
It's all good.
Chill as well.
Look at that. The tier 1 tower on the bot lane is still standing.
Yeah.
Okay, all the towers on the side of Pango are still standing, but I'm not counting.
Obviously. If you have that tower, it's... You won, basically, right?
Yeah, but the Pango still has all their towers.
Well, that's true.
Money in the bank.
I said
That's just money in the
last
bank.
time. I'll say it again. Navi's drafts are so garbage. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Like,
you're trying to reverse jinx them again.
Yeah, I'm reversing.
I was
He's in with the combo, so went down two of them. They'll get the Chrono out, but there's the Ice Path and the Macro Pyre causing some issues in the Chrono for Na'Vi. As Blizzy, he's falling low. Astral will buy him sometime as Magical tries his best to save him. Blizzy's still alive, will finally drop. As Na'Vi, they've lost the Darks here. BKB's been popped by Magical, but he's having to back off now. As now the Pango closing in behind the tier 1 tower into the tree line. They'll find Magical. They'll get Seneko as well.
Turn over.
At least Crystallize didn't die. Silver lining.
I just have to explain myself. They're Garbo, but they have a timing, right? If they reach that critical mass, if they reach that timing, the same happens like with that PA. Suddenly you have an OD and a Chrono and you can't fight against it. Like, but you have to reach that point.
So what's that point? Is that a timing point? Is that which item are you needing?
It's a timing point, and obviously timing means items. You need to get those items, and then that Chrono suddenly becomes the strongest thing in the game. With the BKB on OD and a few more items, he can actually hit in the Chrono.
Zayas is out of mana, so.
But the issue is, until you have that, you're basically not playing. You're just taking the beating, right? And just trying to dodge as much as possible. Trying to feed as little as possible.
Well, Crystallize is trying to get what he can. It's like the rest of his team, but I know one thing that they can't get. That is Roshan, because I think Pango has got that on lock.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Can they contest this rush?
No, they can't, and Seneko also cannot protect his wards.
I think.
Crystallize, he's looking at Zayats, but doesn't want to play around them too much. Still doesn't have Chrono for 10 seconds.
Radiant's top tower.
Especially with Na'Vi having that Aegis. Na'Vi have to be even more careful about the fights they do choose to take.
I mean, you can't get careful enough. Like that's what it is. Can't be more careful. That's it. Like just run. If you see this Pango, you just run away. If you see anyone actually on the side of Pango, just get out.
Yeah, you gotta play safe now. The map is very scary for Na'Vi.
Yeah, you have this Midas, so eventually, you know what? Remember the first series that we watched today, the series with the OD. I think you played the same game. You just try to defend high ground. So they have only the Jakiro that can soul siege it, so they literally have to dive you in order to take high ground.
It was also OD and Grimstroke, right?
Also the Grimstroke, So you have these heroes that are naturally really good at defending high ground. I think that's your play. You just wait it out. I mean, it's a strategy. Like
Well, do you get the Viper strike out to Blizzy?
Yeah, but he's just pointing out it should be tiny. Oh, so close.
That was a little bit of a close one.
Yeah, he gets out though.
And
that's space. That's space as well. That's greed's done, and that's also space. Like the moment you see that tiny, instantly, if you avoid, it's easier for you to farm. All right, maybe not. As Pango is hunting you, everyone is hunting you.
Everyone's after that void.
Like fish in the barrel.
That's tiny. Has been found, Seneko and Magical finding the opening to go for him. They've got to back the Spirit. Having to follow people using the Sanity's Eclipse as well to get the kill. Does manage to get the job done.
Get out. Do they get out? Actually, there's no void here, but no one is putting.
No one's actually pouring in. I guess they didn't need to because the Na'Vi was scared nonetheless. So
are they doing something somewhere else? No, they're just messing with this void. Oh, the bashes. The kills.
And the stick keeping Ghosting more than fine. I'll set up, the chrono is there.
Does he have the dash?
Is it enough? Oh, it is. It is.
Crystallize gets the kill.
Yeah, I mean, that chrono is good. You get the Pango kill.
Yeah, when you're behind, I mean, it's a call. Yeah, you go for those chronos for sure.
And they're most likely not going to do anything before he's up, so you basically slow them down a bit. You also killed that Tiny on the top lane. They're doing well.
Yeah.
They're finding some pickoffs. Like, I actually expected that 3-man gank on Tiny to be punished. They opted not to.
Structures are fortified.
I guess. No.
Dire's middle tower is under
Oh,
attack.
no. Once the Tiny is dead, I guess they're lacking catch a little bit on the side of Pango.
Yeah, so I just the one to normally just blink in
Exactly.
and YOLO it
So
up.
if he's the one that they initiate on, maybe it's a bit hard for Navi to react. But there's no chrono. So
There's
basically
no
what
chrono.
that means is they can do what they're doing right now.
Yeah, it's good.
There's a DD rune on Naive.
Yeah, that is one of the downsides of using the chrono in that situation. As we said, I feel like he had to. Like you don't sort of think about that.
No,
you see a kill, you have to go for it when you're behind. But it means you're going to maybe lose a Rax if they get a push together.
As a Void, you're always worrying about that. Like, you have to be worrying because that's such a long cooldown.
Sure, you got to
And
think about the future.
Yeah, if that's your big spell, I think you're aware that they can do that. Oh, it's a fake back.
Can they get Blizzy though? He's got the greaves popped, and we'll be able to surge away. Soulbind's out on the two of them. And they're still there. The Pango more than happy getting that melee Rax. They got what they came for.
The way Low-Tech played this morning, though, is they would put that OD in the base, and then when the rage is out, he will try to astral the Nikes to delay that push. So maybe Navi had more in their skill set that they could have used when it comes to that, when it comes to defending that push, but they settled with just OD farming and Grimstroke defending. Grimstroke alone can definitely not defend versus an Ix, he just rages and hits you.
Easy Rax.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Very easy Raxes indeed.
Well, I'm starting to get the same sense of urgency back for Navi.
Yeah. They lost one side. They are waiting out the ages though.
Yeah. And while that was happening, Crystallize was still farming, and that's great.
I mean,
But he won't have buyback once he buys his BKB.
There's BKB on him as well. I think he lacks damage. The BKB is great, but you're gonna chrono someone, and then you and OD are supposed to kill him, but you itemize in such a way, yeah, you can hit.
You can stay alive, but you don't do the damage while you're alive.
Exactly. But at least you can hit. I guess you could argue that without that BKB, an Ice Path is gonna follow up, something
It's
like
like
that.
it's a start, right?
Yeah.
They have to start somewhere.
It's definitely not like the BKBs in that last game, in which once they got him, it's just a complete game changer. But the BKBs are definitely good versus a Radiant Snipes per se.
Graph has plateaued a little bit.
The Midas on OD,
Yeah.
finally. And I believe Grimstroke has, I know he has the GPM talent too, so that's good. Darkseer is always going to have a lot of farm, obviously.
I love this, by the way. Don't think it's going to do anything. Actually, wait. Tiny is very close by.
Catch the Tiny.
Kicked him back into the middle of that as well with a sentry there. Got him.
Hello there, Tiny.
Unfortunately, it's just a Tiny, but I mean, they'll take whatever they can, right?
It's a kill.
Yeah.
We're happy about that, definitely. Ghost stick. Oh, he's charging forwards. He wants something. He's infested. What's he gonna find?
Radiant's
Navi are here in their numbers, so Ghostic does have to be a little careful, especially with that chrono online. if Crystallize is quick enough.
Look at that, they get a tower. Told you, money in the
They've got
back.
eyes on Ghost Stick, and they're in. Lifesteal is going to jump
the
out,
Chrono
the
is good.
Chrono is down.
Nice Chrono.
That's going to be, they'll definitely kill off the
The
Ghost
wall is
Stick.
good.
Can they get the Lifesteal as well? Yeah, the
Back
Raid's
in.
running out. He's going to get dragged back into the wall. That's Naive dead as well, as Na'Vi will claim 2. BKB popped here by the Viper, but they'll be more than happy to chase him down. As with 2 already dead on the side, it's going to be hard for them to fight back, but maybe they can with Zayat. It's coming in with the combo. It's bringing the Void down low.
There's OD though!
In return, but the OD is just getting too big here as the double kill for Magical kicks off. The ink continuing to rack up.
He's got
Zayat
so
got as
much
well
int.
as Na'Vi team wipe the Pango.
68.
68.
Point, yeah. You just don't want to fight that.
I have flashbacks since previous game, and also in all of a sudden my sense of urgency it just disappears.
There you go. We
I'm
made it.
relaxed and calm again.
We got the BKBs up
Yeah.
again, and we're doing damage. That Chrono was very well planted.
It was.
And also Pango and Ix, like, they were a bit too deep.
Underestimating.
Yeah, again they underestimate the enemies, and not only that, they overestimate their teammates. They expected their teammates to be good enough, to be close enough to help out. They weren't really, and it feels like Nikes and this Pango here, they're the ones that are trying to pull this team together, but it isn't working.
It means the gold graph is back to 0, as in the difference as we see it jump about, and well, that is the start for, or should be rather, the start for Na'Vi for
A comeback.
their comeback.
Navi's back.
We'll see if they can keep it up though, because if you compare this to previous game, I do feel like the Pango is in a better position than previous game.
No, definitely. In the previous game, it felt like once they had their BKBs, the game is done. This one, it's not really the same situation. They have ways of fighting. They have ways of taking these fights. The Void can still be bursted down if you find him. But yeah, you have to find him first. And he is the slippery one, it seems. He sensed something. Oh, Dicky. OD as well.
Big on the OD. Magical's in trouble. They have got the Chronosphere up, but Crystallize finds a chance to use it. He's going to pop it, but it's a bit of an awkward one. He's going to have to pop it and run. He does find the GQ on the side of it all, but the rest of Na'Vi having to back up to the high ground. They can manage to get Magical out of there, though.
I mean, that could have been much, much worse. They also killed the Jakiro.
Yeah.
So overall, honestly, Na'Vi saved themselves so well. That Chrono was on point, and the BKB from the OD and the Astral as well.
Oh, they're going back in though, and Lizzie is. Surge just ran out. He has another one in a second.
Another one.
Crystallize.
BKB is down on Magical.
Oh, Pango is deep.
Okay, yeah, Ghost State as well. The sanity has dropped. Magical's in again, but he's going to get comboed once more, and this time he will die.
He has buyback if needed.
I have already killed off the Viper, and Crystallize continues to do it well, but he's disarmed. They're chasing him. Knives in on the Lifestealer, and that's going to be the Void dead as well.
One of them surely has to buy back.
Seneco's in trouble. I don't know if the buyback will do anything.
Nah, they have tier 2s. You don't buy back, I think.
Okay.
They just, unless they try to throne you, you don't buy back. You just wait. It's unnecessary. Yeah, so what seemed good for Na'Vi?
They went out.
They went back in without Chronos, without BKB. Without BKBs and without Chrono, that is. So suddenly you're fighting a disadvantageous fight versus the Radiance Nikes. Truth be told, Ghostic got a really lucky disarm on the Void while he was fighting him, and the Void couldn't finish off the Pango. So he was trying, and he stood there while the Nikes caught up, and suddenly it's the Void that's dead. And now the rush is free.
No way of Na'Vi getting involved with the 2 cores dead. Even if they're up, they don't have those ults. They don't have the Void, Chronosphere, all the sanity's eclipse. So the Pango claiming the rush, getting the Aegis onto Naive. Cheese as well, ready to go.
Aegis Cheese, that's pretty good, especially when you're playing versus a hero with such long cooldown ultimates such as Void. You Chrono that Nikes, if he has Aegis, it doesn't really matter even if you kill him. He pops back up, and then it's much harder to deal with him. So what your game plan has to change, your team fighting strategy has to change. What you should do most likely is kill off everyone else, and then you deal with the Nikes somehow. You get that Pango per se, like I think he's an important kill. He's disrupting your fights very well. The Jakiro as well. If you get him first, it's a big plus.
The Chronos on them is pretty big too.
So you just get everyone else, you get some stacks on OD, and then you try and deal with the Nikes. There's a Hex though.
There is?
That Hex is pretty big.
Let's see what they can do here.
Big bar.
Let's crystallize. He's got a time lock available.
More than fine.
Yeah, he should be fine. Definitely.
Unless
Zayas is
gets
gonna have...
the jump.
No,
so
he's
slow though.
reused.
Yeah.
That should be the case. If he infests you, you're slower, you know, because you're heavier. It's harder to move around.
That's true. Logic.
Makes sense.
Logic. Where is it?
Where's the logic in
Where's
this
the logic,
game?
Gaben? That's alright. Just waiting to see if Navi do step out. It's got the full bash done on Ghost Stick. So those swashbuckles are going to cause a lot of issues. Bashing, disarming, silencing heroes. As Navi's well prepared. Navi's going to get scanned out though.
They're in a really good position though. I mean, you're still gonna take this fight against Aegis Cheese, which isn't optimal for you, but if there's a position in which you can take it, it's definitely around this cliff, around this ward, because you're gonna have all the info necessary. If you could pick that Arcane rune up on Void as well, that would be so good.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It doesn't look like they'll find the fight though.
Yeah, they're just
They're
dodging.
playing it safe.
Yeah. Pango is playing it safe, but now that they see Navi, they're most likely just gonna take that tier 2. Yeah, there we go. They leave the infest, they take the tier 2, and from now on, like, they're gonna start hunting again, as they have taken control of this side of the map. They were really, you can see that Shakira instantly devoured that, so they kind of knew what was going to happen if they tried to wrap around onto that high ground. Even though they're showing a lot of discipline, even though they had Aegis and Cheese, they didn't try to pressure that high ground next to the shrine. They didn't try to overcommit into like getting some crazy pickoffs. They were just calmly positioning themselves around the tower.
Found the Darkseer.
Oh, he's ice back.
He is in a lot of trouble.
He's
The
a
ice
Darkseer.
path and the avalanche means no escape for Blizzy. Dead for a minute.
And another one.
Crystallize has to be KB.
Alright, is he gonna... with that time dilation, he should be able to survive.
Yep.
There's no other real threat of locking down that void, so Crystallize...
His
Yeah, most
BKB
of the
was
time
used.
BKB's going to save him. He's not going to be under any sort of threat, but it does mean that, yeah, if they can try and fight now when the BKB's unavailable, it's hard for him to be aggressive.
Shrine is under attack.
He's nearly hitting that level 20, that beautiful time on the void.
Same for
That time
Brimstone,
walk
actually.
range is amazing. And I mean, it's a lot easier for him to find those Chronos.
Top shrine
And a lot harder for them to kill them. I mean, we've already seen, that they don't have a crazy amount of lockdown for that void, so with the extra time walk cast range...
Oh, the
he's
smoke
just
is
out of
good.
there.
He doesn't have a BKB yet. If they find him, it's gonna be in a lot of problems.
He's up to the base.
Yeah.
He knows.
He knows they're pinging
gotta
out. They're
play it
pinging the
safe.
creeps out on mid. If anyone shows this time, he's instantly gonna jump him. So Neko is doing the right thing, out pushing bottom lane. The battle for this cliff ward is
Yeah,
has
it's
been going on
intense.
for a while now. Yeah, I mean they value it so much because Navi, if that ward isn't planted there, they can't exit the base through the bottom lane at least.
Yep.
So they definitely need it.
Oh, it's a tough time. So it feels at this point that the fight that we saw that Navi took almost didn't happen at all. We're back to square one where Navi is locked in their base and it can't really do much until the Pango decide to grace them with their presence.
Yeah, Pango, they do have that Aegis, so they're on a little bit of a timer, I guess. They definitely want to use it before it's gone.
Is it, am I being totally crazy, or is that usual on the Grimstroke that you take the +1 hit on the Phantom Embrace over the cast range?
You don't have to always.
Because he did this guy, I just thought, don't you always
According
take the cast?
to Dota Plus, it is fairly even, but most people do take the cast range.
I mean, I
That
take
is
the
at least
cast
what I
most
see,
of the
like when
time.
I...
Sometimes the Embrace is really good.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but usually the cast range. I think cast range is just so powerful. Even if you have Ethereal's cast range is good. It just allows you to soulbind from distance and also hex it.
Ooh, that's a dead stone.
That's a dead rock indeed.
Yep.
Turning to rubble.
That's nice. They need those type of pickups.
It's what happened before, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
Maybe they would be hiding in their base, and then suddenly they would get this pick off on Tiny, and a clean fight afterwards. They lost the Aegis on the side of Pango, so they don't have that to work with any longer. I think that's why Navi is feeling a little bit freer. He got the +1 hit. I mean, +1 hit versus Pango and versus Nyx is huge. You prevent him from raging.
Yeah.
Also with the Pango.
Extra time.
Yeah.
Wait, is this tower still standing? It is! Money in the bank! Money out of the bank.
Tier 1 falling 40 minutes into the game.
That's impressive, actually. That's the latest tier 1 we've seen this tournament. Today.
I mean,
Which is also this tournament.
It's one of the longer games that we've seen today, that we've casted at least. Yeah, 40,
Is it?
Yeah, 40 minutes.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Today.
Yeah, we did.
Like, the thing about this patch is that a 40-minute game, the 40-minute game looks long. That's the thing. Like, I remember a few years back, 40-minute games was every
Average.
other one. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
average.
True, the average did go down. It's now like 34 or something, or 32. In between there somewhere. Minutes. Well, Navi's back in their half of the map. The Pango back in their own half of the map. Although they are
Stalemate
grouped
pretty
up. Are they
much right now.
smoking again? I think they might be. They're looking for it. Both teams. Alright.
Let's
Who's
see.
gonna find who?
Clash of Titans, right on mid lane. Tiny is gonna be the one shadow bladed, so he might have an
Yeah,
advantage. when
but
it
they know.
comes.
Blizzy's smoke already got popped.
Oh, crystallizes in with the BKB pop, but he doesn't find the chrono. He's holding on to it now. He'll let it go.
Yeah, but there's no OD to follow up.
They're incredibly split up. Crystallize is trying to hit into the Viper, but the damage is not quite there. Now Magical's turn up with the Hex. The sanity is down. They're looking towards now if they found the Life Stealer. Life Stealer's gone.
And
They're
my
getting
back.
more though, because with the BKBs out on Na'Vi, Magical's a little vulnerable. He does have the Astral to hold back the Tiny. That'll be the buyback indeed from the Lifesteal. He knows there's no chrono. This is the time that they can really try and push and force the issue against Na'Vi. Especially with the Air Spirit down, he does have buyback available.
Yeah.
But they want to try and do something whilst there's no chrono, whilst there's no Sanity's Eclipse. Because as we've seen, when they do have those ults, it's very hard for the Pango to fight into it.
Viper used the cheese in that fight as well. It means that, well, he doesn't have anything to back it up.
It felt like that chrono was wrong, like it was off, but it worked out.
It worked out.
It worked out. The Nikes had to buy back, but like he had to buy back because he wants to push.
Yeah.
There's no chrono.
There's
Now
no
the question
chrono.
is,
There's
are they
time to go.
gonna manage to take a side? If they don't, it's a disaster for Pango. Like, you just wasted that.
Wait, the Earth Spirit can buy back for this, right?
Yep.
It's not that big of a deal for him.
16
BKB is gonna be up again soon as well. It's like what? It's a couple seconds on the OD before his BKB is back up. He's almost level 25 as well.
Yeah, he has stacks.
They're going to go.
the
Hex is
Hex
there
is there.
straight away. They
Yeah.
need to get that Life Stealer alive. He brought back for this one. He's going to be fine, gets the Rage up. Now he's able to turn towards Crystallize. Crystallize got the BKB. Is now going to wire off. He gets forced to the side, but Ghost sticks in. Rolling about, stunning them up. They've got the control, but it's not enough. They didn't have the silence. They only have
But
the
the
mute from
OD.
the Nullifier. So the Void's still able to time walk away, but Magical will fall. He gets left behind on the front lines. As the Pango now turn their attention back towards the bottom racks. Chrono's coming back up pretty soon, though.
Backing off.
And that does mean indeed that the Pango have to play it safe. They start to retreat.
Yep.
They didn't get that rack that they were hoping for with that buyback from the Lifestealer.
Ghost Stick controlled OD so well there. Like, went on to him with his ultimate, used the Yules on himself, and when you use the Yules on yourself while you're ulted, it just keeps on stunning the target underneath you. So he controlled the OD completely in that fight.
Yep.
And yeah, pretty well executed by Pango. They need this rush, and it's really good that it's up. The only question is, are they gonna dare to just go for it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise OD has to buy back, right?
Even without the OD, I mean, you can always go for like a Chrono and then an Aegis Roshan Steal. If you can get the
Yeah.
timing
You
right. Chrono's all ever so powerful around the pit.
And you
but
can check it
it
with
is a,
Soneko.
it is a risk without the OD.
Soneko should be casting his
Yeah.
fate.
They know what's up.
Yeah, it's just a scout so that you can chrono in the right time.
The wall's down.
And he's starting things off.
Oh, he's getting a missile though.
He's getting shoved right in underneath the Roche as well. Soulbine's down to the Blizzy's sort of stuck in the pit. As he's now getting himself out of it, tried to surge away, but he's yaws up into the air. The rest of Na'Vi continue to watch from the sidelines. Magical's back up in 10 seconds.
Good force.
So just try to slow down this Roshan.
Yeah, that's a
There's still a chrono available.
The chrono is available.
He knows.
Oh, but he gets stunned!
He gets into the ice path.
Instantly stunned! The chrono's out, but the Roshan and the Aegis have already been taken by the Pango, so now Crystallize has to get out of there.
And it's a horrible chrono. No, you don't have the chrono in that final push.
Oh, no. I mean, because he had BKB, right? So he could have BKB before he went in.
He gridded out a little bit.
He went in, what was it? Did he just throw down the avalanche on top of it?
Ice
The ice path.
Ice path.
I think it was the ice path.
It was.
Ice path,
It was an ice path.
but something got
Whatever it was, if he used BKB there and then jumped in,
Yeah.
he would have
Been fine.
Yeah, he would have been fine.
Unless did he get bashed by a swashbuckle?
refresher shard.
He might have got bashed by a swashbuckle.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He got the shard.
He did get the shard.
That's something.
That's nice.
I mean, it's really good on
Who got
board.
the cheese?
That is actually...
Nice.
Nice.
Got the cheese as well. Okay.
And Lifestealer now also has his BKB done. So he doesn't have to rely on just rage.
Yeah, I was wondering if he's gonna go for that.
Yeah.
It's so good versus OD.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this hex in the game. There's,
Just
What is the uptime then? How many seconds
Well,
is
you can
he?
rage BKB and rage back
Yeah.
to back, right? So it's, I don't know, like 20-something seconds.
Ah, that's nice.
He's basically perma magic immune.
So you like that fight is, you got to get away from that, man. You don't want to stand there. You're not going to kill him.
It's gonna be such a hard fight now.
Yeah.
No chrono.
Saving that BKB for a second life. Who's he giving the cheese to? Someone's got the cheese. Probably the
Tiny or
Viper.
Viper. Yeah, Viper.
Yeah, Viper's got it. As that is the bottom racks going down. The Pango.
Yeah.
Taking the melee racks on the bottom lane.
And the Grimstroke rolled down as well. Because Lifestealer was not close to anyone.
I mean, you even say it's like it's so hard to go on this Lifestealer. You really do need a perfect chrono. Maybe two perfect chronos. But the Refresher Shard, maybe you can do that.
Yeah.
Right, so far the Pango have been pretty careful with their positioning. And then Seneko just get forced out. Ghost Stick jumps in with a quick shield crash. But not following for more. I mean, the Pango not really under too much pressure now. They've got two lanes of the big racks. Just need to try and somehow find that top one. But they know that they're still very much in the lead this game. 10k advantage. And Na'Vi still, they have sort of this much harder execution that they need to complete with the team fight. They have to get this chrono off in an ideal situation.
And then still Mike's, like he has 2 lives.
Yeah.
You have to deal with his team, and then with him in the end, I guess, when you've wrapped up that intelligence stone. You have a lot of it. You can steal a lot of it on magical, definitely. So has level 25.
I mean, is double chrono better than double sanities at this stage? Oh, well, actually is. Crystallize is going to use the first one. He gets in, gets the chrono onto 2 of them. But on the back lines already, Seneco's gone. The sanities eclipse is going to be dropped. The magical's already sent. They get the vacuum wall down. There's the second chrono. Have they got the damage to get the cores though? They'll kill the Chikira, but the cores of the Pango remain alive. They're just too beefy, too tanky. Na'Vi don't have the damage. Buyback comes out from Magical and Seneko, but this is not a fight that Na'Vi want to get themselves stuck back into straight away.
They didn't even get one Aegis.
They didn't even take Aegis.
They didn't take the
just
cheese
don't
though.
have damage.
Or did someone else? Yeah, Viper took the cheese again.
Yeah, Jakiro bought back, but that's about it. There's no wall, there's no chrono.
And that was 2 chronos.
Yeah, there, use the shrine and go back in.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 chronos. I think 2 chronos are better than 2 sanities.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, they didn't really matter.
No, I think, either way, that fight, as we're seeing, the fights are just so hard now because of how hard to kill these cores are.
Yeah. You have to control them. The chrono brings control. So
Dire's top tower is under
it just didn't work out for them.
I mean, if you can do it with 2 chronos, what's the hope of doing it now? Is the Pango just eating into the top lane of Na'Vi's base.
Has that move fire used?
They do get the next the hex down. And with the BKB match was trying his best to hit into him all, but he's got to back off. The Viper's on top of him, forcing him to retreat. Crystallize, pots the BKB, turns, gets the bashes off onto Naive, but Naive's got the rage. The Rage up, Na'Vi pushed back as the tier 3 towers falls. And Naive, he's just straight towards the tier 4 in the middle. It'll be defensive Astral. Magical trying to buy some time for his teammates, but rolling in goes Ghosty on top of Blizzy. The swashbuckle bash finds the Void as well. Buybacks coming out from Na'Vi, 20 seconds until that chrono on. But still, they can't kill Naive. He's still got the Aegis. Still got the BKB in the stash ready for the second time round.
At this point, Naive wouldn't mind being killed because it brings him back to full life. Oh, never mind. Age is gone.
You don't have to be killed if you just region up.
Well,
Aegis is gone.
Chrono's going to be back there, but they need... I mean, even if they get a 5-man chrono at this point, it
won't matter.
Way too late.
Yeah, they're just way too tanky.
They're so massive.
There we go, 5-man surge. They're going in. Let's go.
There's the back. Oh, it's a 3-man chrono. Is there any damage? That's the question. There's enough to kill a Jakiro, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Magical was not able to hit during that chrono at all.
Still doesn't quite have sanities up either, so that burst that they could rely on after the BKBs wear off is not quite there yet. As Na'Vi still trying to push the Pango away, but the tier 4s are falling. The Pango onto the Ancient. Can Na'Vi do anything? Ghost Stick rolling in on that signature hero for the team. They've whipped it out and it looked good this game. The Pango doing it here, another 3-man vacuum. But again, they just can't get anything done with the Void. There's not enough damage. Sanity Eclipse has dropped down, but GG. It's all theories as the Pango will claim it 2-0.